and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today.
I had a dream last night about Johnny Cash. We were sitting laughing and talking. He was looking good. Of course, he was concerned about the state of the country today. The fact that half the country hates the other half and that half hates the other half. The state of radio is not really a whole lot better. We got more wars going on than we can even name anymore. And that thing that General Eisenhower warned us about before he left office, the military-industrial complex, they're here. We're putting the pipeline through Indian territory. Why on earth would anybody sign a treaty with the United States and think that we weren't going to change our minds later? We have a bad history of it. But there were happy moments. We were talking about the good stuff, talking about rock and roll. I asked him, what was it like walking with Gods at Sun Record Studio in Memphis, Tennessee? He said, we weren't gods then. Just a bunch of hillbillies trying to make a living without working. I thought I saw a tear in his eye. I played these songs in a key that wasn't too demanding. I didn't want to be the king of rock and roll. I didn't want to be the last one standing. Now I'm up here counting heroes. We're down to 3 as I figure it. Fats Domino, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis. These wouldn't have been the 3 that you would have put your money on, would it? I'm thinking that Fats is not on any kind of workout system that we know anything about. Little Richard. When you think about how rock and roll came along and saved us, who is there bigger hero than Little Richard? Black man from the South. A black gay man from the South. A black gay man who turns to the Lord every now and then decides that sin's a whole lot more fun. Come on, rock and roll, save us again. Jerry Lee Lewis. The original killer. The first real bad boy. There ain't ever going to be any worse bad boys than Jerry Lee Lewis. dreamed of bad boys. There was only one juvenile delinquent in Tampa when I was growing up. Darryl Barcoot. Darryl Barcoot could have played piano, he would have been Jerry Lee Lewis. Two of his divorces were being investigated by homicide detectives before they were final. The IRS gave up and went home from Gulfport, Mississippi, and decided, that's okay, Mr. Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis would release his tax returns. He'd cram them up your nose. I lived for England, the crown prince. Came back to Memphis with a hard land. Should have been the king of rock and roll. Gonna be the last one standing. Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, Clyde McPhatter, and Hank Ballard, and Sam Cooke, George Harrison, John Lennon, Bo Diddley, Roy Orbison. Today's Roy Orbison's birthday. Who's going to do the important work now? Who's going to do the heavy lifting that rock and roll got us through? Who's going to address the unpopular wars? Who's going to break down the color divide that still stands? Who's going to speak up for the prisoners who shouldn't be there, that they're trying to execute before the drugs go bad? Who's going to speak up for the soldiers who come from home for the unpopular wars? Come on, rock and roll, save us again. Very much.